Okay, are we good? Are we good? Yes, we are. Okay, first of all, apologies for the shoddy camera work. My phone is currently being propped against two videos, so if it collapses at any point, you'll understand. It's basically like, God, it's like a dodgy game of Jenga. Okay, so this is about my plans for video memories. Where do I start? Well, as you saw in the last episode, St. Kittle Pirates, the next episode is the Aristocats, which will be on the first day of February. I'm taking a month's break to recover because, good God, 50 episodes. And for once, it's actually all caught up, thank God, because since the beginning, I've been making the episodes early, and Jesus, it was a nightmare. So I'm taking a month to recover and sort out other things. So my plans. Let me start at the beginning first. I need to talk about the. God, I had this all planned out, and now it's all gone blank. Where do I start? See, you think about things beforehand, and then your mind goes absolutely nowhere. What was I going to talk about? What was I going to say? I mentioned the Aristocats. I mentioned that first. Right, I'll start at the beginning. When I started with video memories, I never made any schedules or anything. I just picked one video and it went from there. And when I started with episode 11, which was Story and Song Collection, I then started taking note of where I wanted to go with every episode. Like I planned up to episode 20 from there, and when I started, what was episode 21? Is that down the main? I think it was. Then I realized that my plan was to get up to at least 50, which is why it was mostly 2 episodes a month in last year with like 3 months with 4 episodes. I realized I wanted to get up to 50. I realized if I was going to stop, that would be a good point. And I knew early on that I wanted to do St. Kittle Pirates as the last episode. I knew that going in. Well, I knew that when I was doing it. By the time I reached it, like Kim Possible or something, I knew that would be the episode to end with. That seemed like it. It seemed like 50 was a good point to stop. And eventually, when I made it to, I think, Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, I realized that stopping at 50 wasn't enough because, I don't know, there's just something about telling stories that I enjoy. It's just me. So I eventually realized then that stopping at 50 was just not going to happen. So I eventually realized that I had more to talk about. There's the rest of my Thomas collection. That's one thing. There's Disney things to talk about, like Jungle Cubs. I have a video on that. I have stuff for Cartoon Network. I just have lots to talk about, and I eventually realized then that it would be going on for another year, hence what we're into now. And I kept all quiet about it. I wanted to be a surprise, which is probably shit because whenever someone left a comment, like if I'm covering something, I thought I would say, yes, I will probably be covering that. And so that's where we are now. The episodes will resume in February. The first episode is the Aristocats. And then it'll be another Disney thing. And then I will be getting back to Thomas and Friends in March. So I'm not going to mention everything I have. I have a complete list of what I want to do. And I'm 90% sure the list will work out. So what we're dealing with is we're sticking with 2 episodes per month. That's going to be a thing. And that'll be for the entire year. I have 22 episodes planned for the rest of the year, starting in February, and that will take us to the end of December. And as I mentioned twice already, the Aristocats will be the first thing. I also plan to cover the rest of my Thomas and Friends collection. There's I think 7 or 8 more videos left. And there's a DVD I want to cover. I will be covering the rest of Thomas and Friends. God, what else did I promise I'd cover? There will be more singing kettle, obviously, because that's a part of my childhood. I can't get rid of that. I will also, in one of the Thompson Friends episodes, I will also be covering another English narrator I never covered. One person on the internet knows who it is. I won't spoil who, but oh god, it's a narrator I'm not particularly fond of. I will be covering that, and then I will be covering something for Cartoon Network related for my birthday, which will be in June. And I don't mean to brag, but this is probably that episode. I've already started writing a few of the episodes. I've already finished the Aristocats because, and I'm working on episode 52 right now because January is going to be a hellish month for me because something, not to give it details or personal info, but something happened in this house which happened. It happened in the middle of December, about 2 weeks after I finished seeing Kettle Pirates, and oh my god, it was hell. And I'll mention it briefly at the beginning of the Aristocats, and jeez, it's going to take up the most of the month. So I'm getting February out of the way immediately. I wanted to go into this not going too. I wanted to go into this year not making things in advance, but then something happened, and I'll try and keep it more balanced when it comes to March. Right, so Thomas and Friends I've covered. The Aristocats, Cartoon Network, Disney. The thing I'm making for the first episode of June is Cartoon Network related, and it's probably one of the best things I've ever written for Video Memories. Oh, I cannot wait to do that one. It shall be good. What else was I got to talk about? See, you think about these things for the days preceding, and then your mind goes blank, and you have to improvise. You have to make it up as you go along. So I mentioned that I'm covering the rest of my Thomas and Friends collection. What else did I say I was going to do? I've got Disney things I want to cover. Oh, I'm doing well at the minute. This probably would have been better if it wasn't a live stream. Now that I think about it. So yeah, so the Aristocats first. Something Disney related. The second thing I'm going to cover this year is something that no one has ever covered on the internet before. No one has ever reviewed it, and no one is going to see it coming. I guarantee you. Although it has appeared in a previous Video Memories episode, and yeah, it's a very unique thing to cover. It's a very weird thing, and it kind of shows how bizarre my mind hooks onto things. Especially when I was younger. I'm looking at it right now. It's on top of my my cupboards in the kitchen at the minute. You'll see that. Thompson Friends I've covered. They will all be covered by the end of December. I figure if I'm gonna, this will be the last main year for Video Memories. The last regular year, anyway. I'm not going to say it's a complete end because I said that with the multi-language series about 2 years ago, and look how well that worked out for me. Yeah, there came a point with Video Memories where it was like the multi-language series in season 6, where I was making episodes months in advance. I mean, I think the worst I ever got was, I think it was Kim Possible or Dexter's Laboratory Ego Trip, where they were made 3 months in advance. Oh god, I don't ever want to sink to that level again. I hear footsteps above me. So I hope to not stoop to that level again. I mean, Singing Kettle Pie. I tried to cut it down as the last year ended, where I managed to get it down to within a month. So I'm fairly chuffed with that. I mean, Sin Kettle Pirates was finished on December 3rd. And then this, I finished, I think, yesterday or the day before. So, as long as I get February out of the way so I can focus on this month and get all my shit dealt with, that would be ideal. Right, so 22 episodes. I don't want to drag this out for too long. 22 episodes, twice a month. They're all spaced out from February to December. That's 11 months. 2 months per two episodes per month, and they will be coming out on the 1st of each month and either the 15th or the 16th of each month, depending on which month it is. Yeah, I'm covering as much as I can because honestly, I'm getting the episodes up to 72 before the end of the year, and I was stretching for that one. I was stretching for that because half the shit I'm covering, I don't even know if I'm going to have a decent story for them. Because this is the problem. Video Memories is a review series, so you can cover anything, but I want it to be something that I can relate to. I don't want it to do anything. I don't want to do anything blind where I have nothing to talk about, because it's hard to review something if you don't have any experience with it. Because most people who review things on the internet, they buy things they have no idea about, and then they review it. And I thought, well, I could do that, but it'd be boring. I'd have nothing to talk about. And that never appealed to me. Doing reviews of stuff I have no knowledge about. So I was stretching to get through, but I think I'll make it to the end of the year. I have 22 more episodes planned, Cartoon Network, Disney, and Thomas and Friends, and a few other weird bits here and there. Oh, God, it's a lot more structured than last year. I know mostly where I'm going, because the list last year, I've had a list since 2017 of where I'd like to go with the series, and a fair few times last year, the list changed quite often. I mean, Birthday Cartoon Collection, which I covered as, I think, episode 37 or 38. That got moved a lot of times, because that was one of the early contenders for the series, and I dropped that several times for other things I wanted to cover. Like Back to the Future, that got moved. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, it moved Birthday Cartoon Collection for that. Oh. So I know where I'm going with this. I've got 22 episodes planned. Sin Kettle Pirates was planned a long time ago. I eventually knew I wouldn't stop at 50, so I will continue from there. I've made episode 51 coming out on February 1st. I'm making episode 52, which will be February 15th. And then I'll take a breather, and then, I don't know, middle of February, I'll get on with March. And that's where Thomas and Friends will begin. And it's all going to be stuff that's in my collection. I don't plan on... I'm also contemplating this. I'm also contemplating doing a bonus episode for my VCR, which I've only covered briefly. I now know the make of it and how old it is. And videos that I purchased for Video Memories. I'm contemplating doing a video about that. Because there have been a few. Because I've made a rule for myself that I can't buy videos I don't have prior experience with. Like Trust Thomas, Troublesome Trucks. I've bought them because I've had experience with them. I've made a rule that I can't buy anything I don't have prior knowledge of. Something I haven't experienced before. So I'm contemplating doing a video on that where I will probably explain it better than this. Right, so the next year, 22 episodes covered. I'm doing a horrific job explaining this. This was all planned out months ago, where I wanted to go with this. And it all begins on February 1st. And then it continues fortnightly until the end of the year. Forgive me, I look like death at the minute. And that's where it goes. I hope this audio is coming in clear, by the way. My phone is propped against two videos, and I hope the cameras don't just get muffled by the video that's behind it. And yeah, that's about it. I really should have just done a normal video about this, honestly, because I have no fucking idea what I'm talking about right now. Okay, that's that covered. I mentioned that I'm looking forward to the thing I'm doing in June, best thing I've ever written. There's that Thomas and Friends will all be covered as much as I can. The City thing in February is something no one is ever expecting. I'm still looking at it. And I'll be covering an English narrator that I've not covered before. He will not be getting a showcase like most of the multi-language narrators because I don't like this guy. Yeah, and that's about it. Yeah, that's all I can say, really. I'm things are preparing, they're coming together. Hectic month ahead of me, which shall be mentioned in video memories. I mean, chances are what I'm covering will look better than what happened, than what will be seen in the Aristocats, because I've already made it and it's going to be shown in a month, and God knows how different the place will look in a month. Oh God, the next month is going to suck for me. So video memories is coming. It'll all be good. It'll all hopefully be entertaining. Hopefully it's entertaining, because that's what I do this thing for. Right, so video memories coming in February, 22 episodes. Thomas and Friends will be covered. Blah 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 blah. And yeah, that's about it. This is about it. I planned all this shit beforehand, and now my memory's gone blank. Today's just not a good day for me. Right, so stick around. Video memories coming in February, and if this live stream didn't turn out well and no one can hear me, that would suck. So stick around. Video memories in February. Right, toodles.